It always starts with a dream, a beautiful, sun-drenched promise of a life well lived. This is the image they sell you, the one you see in brochures and on guided tours. But beneath the dream, a sickness has taken root in America. A quiet, creeping plague whispered in news reports and buried in economic data. It's a plague of numbers that add up to $1 trillion burden resting on the shoulders of millions who were promised a future, but were handed a bill. There is a curse, bound in ink and sealed by law. This is the story of how it claims a soul. You see yourself in that image, don't you? Surrounded by brilliant minds, on the verge of everything. You believe you're invincible, that the future is a golden road paved just for you. They tell you this is the key, this path, this education. It's the price of admission to the life you've always wanted, a life of purpose and security. And you believe them. You take what they offer with a hopeful heart, convinced that this is the beginning of your story. The price seems so abstract at the time. Just a name, a long, complicated name on a document full of words you don't understand. They call it a promissory note, a promise. But you're the only one who is truly bound by it. You sign. A rite of passage, they call it. You're 19 years old and you're signing for a dream. You don't realize you're also signing for the debt. And then, silence. They give you 6 months, a grace period, a breath of fresh air before the drowning begins. You build a life in that silence. You get the job, the one that makes the degree feel worthwhile. You feel the pride of that first paycheck, the thrill of independence. You make friends. You go out. You feel normal. You almost forget the promise you made, the name you signed. You get comfortable in this new life, believing it's yours. But the monster doesn't forget. It's patient. It lets the clock run down. You're working, productive. You feel like you're finally on the right track, building the future you were promised. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday, it finds you. A simple, digital tap on the shoulder. A message from the life you left behind. It's a polite reminder. Clean, corporate, almost friendly. But you know what it is. It's the first knock on the door from the thing you let inside years ago. Soon, its voice becomes your own inner monologue. A text from a friend, an invitation to be normal for a few hours. The first thought isn't, "That sounds fun." It's a cold, hard calculation. And the answer is always no. So you lie, a little white lie to hide the giant, suffocating truth. I'm tired. I have to work late. Anything is better than admitting you are owned by a number in a database. It poisons your ambition, too. One night you find it, the perfect job, the one you actually dreamed of on that sunny campus lawn. For a moment, you let yourself imagine that life, but the dream dies with a single click. The salary won't be enough to satisfy the monster's monthly appetite, so you close the tab, and with it, you close a door on a life you could have lived. In your desperation, you start hearing a song, a beautiful, tempting song played on a loop online. It comes from ads with smiling faces, promising you freedom. Refinance, it sings. One low monthly payment. Take control. It feels like a lifeline, a way out of the dark woods. You swim towards the music, desperate for relief. You're approved.
For a moment, the relief is intoxicating, but then you start to read. You scroll past the smiling avatars and into the forest of fine print. And there it is, the trick. A lower payment, but for a much longer time. It's not a lifeline, it's just a different mask on the same monster. So you return to the original beast. You resolve to fight it head on. You do what you're supposed to do. You make the payment. You send your hard-earned money into the void, a sacrifice. But your payment isn't a weapon. It's food. It consumes the interest first, the part of it that grows in the dark. And when you look at what's left, the principle, you finally understand. You barely touched it. The monster is just as big as it was before, and it's hungry for more. You feel utterly alone in your private horror story. But then you start looking. You search for whispers in the dark corners of the internet, and you find them, confessions from the other haunted souls. You realize you are not alone. You are part of a legion, a generation of ghosts all tethered to the same phantom master. And somehow, that's even more terrifying. In a moment of foolish courage, you decide to call the beast by its name. You think, if I can just talk to a person, maybe they can explain. But you don't reach a person. You reach the labyrinth, a maze of automated menus designed to break your spirit. Press 1 for payment options. For all other inquiries, please hold. And so you hold.
Your
The same
call
10
is
seconds
very
of cheerful,
important to
soulless
us.
music drills into your skull on a loop. You are a prisoner, waiting for a savior who will never come. Finally, a voice, but it's just a gatekeeper with a script. You try to explain your situation, the feeling of drowning. They offer you nothing. You are not a person. You are an account number. You hang up. There is no help. No one is coming to save you.
How do you explain the ghost to someone who can't see it? How do you build a future with someone when your own is already owned by something else? The death becomes a third person in the room, a cold presence driving you apart. So you stop fighting. You stop explaining. You stop dreaming. There is only the service, the monthly ritual. Years blur into one another. The world changes. You change. Friends move on. Their lives branch out while yours remains in a straight, narrow line leading to the next payment date. You don't work to live anymore. You work to feed the ghost. It's not a temporary problem. It's a part of you, your partner for life.
Feeling uncomfortable? Angry? That is the intended effect. This isn't just entertainment, it's a reality. The greatest weapon this system has is the belief that you are powerless. Prove it wrong. Your like is a vote that says this story matters. Your share is a protest. It forces this reality onto screens that would rather look away. Your subscription is a commitment, a promise that you will not forget what you saw here today. The choice to remain silent or to fight back is now yours. We hope you'll join us.